or 51? These questions deal with columns. Does this Rolls Royce, when you see the helping verb does, which tense is that? Present tense, interrogative form. Does this Rolls Royce belong to your uncle? Generally we say, does it belong to you? Does it belong to your friend? Does it belong to your uncle? That means what? You can pair A and D. Having introduced my guests to each other, I made a long speech. This is also perfect. I wish they had told us they were going to sell their house. Please underline, I wish. This is something you have to focus on. When it comes to expressing wishes and desires, please write wishes and desires. There are two dimensions you have to learn. Imagine you are talking about a fact that is in present and you want to express a wish against that fact, then present changes to past and affirmative changes to interrogative, negative changes to interrogative. Write this example. I am not intelligent. Which tense is this? Present tense, negative form. You wish to be intelligent. What do you say? I wish. Here, whatever the subject, we have to use were. I wish I were intelligent. What are the changes you see here? One, negative change to affirmative, present change to past. Is that clear? Another example, I am a celebrity. Celebrities have their own problems. Sometimes they wish not to be a celebrity. This is also present tense but negative or affirmative. Affirmative. I wish I were not a celebrity. What are the changes you see here? Present change to past and affirmative change to negative. This is the first dimension. Is that clear? Coming to the given example, imagine the idea goes into past and you want to express a wish. Past changes to past perfect. I'll take the same example. Write this sentence. They did not tell me. Answer my question. Which tense is this? Past tense, negative form. They did not tell me. I wish. Past changes to past perfect. Negative changes to affirmative. What will I say? I wish they had told me. I wish they had told me. Imagine it is in affirmative. Yesterday you saw some movie. I saw a movie yesterday. A boring movie. This is in which tense? Past, affirmative. It changes to past perfect, negative. How do you express? I wish I hadn't seen that movie. These are very difficult to handle in the exam under pressure. Have you got an idea? I wish I hadn't seen that movie. Now we'll go to that pair. I wish they had told us. Means what? They did not tell. I am expressing the wish. They had told us they were going to sell their house. So what is the answer here? Fourth option is the answer. Question number 52. The water in the lake must have been contaminated as dozens of holiday makers or dozens of animals, dozens of something, came out in a rash after having bathed in it. Perfect. I have been totally out of luck this evening. Why? I haven't won anything either at roulette or at blackjack. You can consider these two. Don't worry, it won't take long before the rescue brigade arrives. Forget about the punctuation. Punctuation problems are there. It is a very comforting piece of news that help is at hand. You can consider this also. So what is the answer again? Second option is the answer. AF, all you can combine. 53. The local newspapers write about the boy's admirable courage. And boy means obviously you need the pronoun he. After all, he was only one who hurried to the rescue. You may doubt this one because underline after all. After all is used to support a statement, usually. I will give a simple example, then perhaps you understand. Write these two sentences. I do like her. I am trying to emphasize. I do like her. After all, she is my sister. What do you understand from this sequence? You made a statement. To support that statement, you have used after all. She is my sister. Have you got an idea? Based on that, you can consider A and D. How many options with A, D? Only one option. But we'll check other pairs. The suspect claimed he was not guilty and that the robbery was committed by someone else. Here we have to say the suspect claimed that he was not guilty and the robbery was committed by someone else. There is a problem we cannot consider. Is that clear? Because of which word? Misplacement of the word that. I was so confused by the chairman's reply that I didn't know whether I was allowed to cast the vote or not. Chairman casting vote, they don't seem related to each other. Based on that, you cannot consider C, E also. What is the answer based on that? AD is the answer. Jack's initial excitement at taking part in the competition died down. Why? After he had learnt about the extra cost he would have had to cover. These two seem a pair. The pleasure of spending holidays in the countryside consists in, this I am not convinced, but I am not sure whether we can use or not. Usually we say for this context, for this idea, write two words. Exists in. The pleasure of spending holidays in the countryside. There are two phrases, put the two phrases in brackets. The pleasure consists in, rarely we say, and I am not quite sure. The pleasure exists in, we say that. Also, more frequently, the pleasure lies in. Where does the pleasure lie? It lies in doing something. But consists in breathing fresh air. After that, the words are right. Nothing wrong with these words. My only objection to the word consists in. Perhaps it is right. BF, how many options? Only one option. Now you have to check the third one. Already we have got the first one. Yes or no? You could better ask Frank. I am not in possession of the manual you are looking for. Perfect. Means what? Second option is the answer. Question number 55. Although Mrs. Parker was bitterly jealous of her friend's higher wages in the company, she managed to avoid making sharp comments. Perfect. Contrasting information and crystal clear. The committee does not support any immediate changes. They say the modification should be introduced step by step. If you are not alert, you may consider these two one pair, but you cannot consider. What is the reason? Underline the committee. Tell me committee, which part of speech is it? Noun. Which type of noun is it? Collective noun. Collective noun is considered singular or plural? Singular. Based on that, we cannot use they here. It should be it. It says. That is correct. That means what? You cannot consider BD. But under pressure, you may think it is right, it is not correct because of the subject. The landlord was generous to us. All that we consumed in his inn was on the house. Underline the phrase on the house. On the house, have you heard of this any time? Imagine you visit a restaurant frequently. You develop a rapport with the owner of the restaurant. One day you have your dinner and about to pay the amount for the dinner you had. The owner says, no, today it is on the house. Means what? You don't have to pay, I am going to bear the expenses. It goes with a restaurant. It is on the house. Means you don't have to pay. I hope you got the meaning. Nothing wrong with this also, but for the punctuation. Punctuation is missing here. The landlord was very generous to us. Based on that, all that we consumed in his inn was on the house. They didn't have to pay. But how many options do you have? AF at the outset. One option. What is the second one we considered to be correct? CE. Which option is the answer? Third option is the answer. 56. This is a new pattern, 56 to 60, but rather easy. Only thing, 2 are difficult, 3 are easy. Only thing you got to understand the context and logical flow of ideas. You have 2 sentences given and you have to add the third sentence to complete the idea or the paragraph. This is a surge economy. Surge already we have got so many times. Sudden forward movement. Surge means what? Sudden increase or sudden forward movement. This is a surge economy where more business is condensed into seconds than used to get done in a day. In the past it would take a day, now it happens in a few seconds. The only constant is change. Second sentence talks about what? Key word. Underline the word change. When something changes every second, you got to be rigid or you got to be flexible. You got to be flexible. Something changes, keeps on changing. If you're not flexible, you cannot handle the change. Based on that, here, remaining steadfast is not correct, not relevant. Underline the word fad. Fad means short-lived fashion. Fashion as such, there is a saying about fashion. What is it? Fashion is so ugly that it has to be changed every 6 months. Do you understand my English? Fashion is so ugly that it has to be changed every 6 months. Fashion changes, style never changes. Style is permanent, fashion is temporary. Have you got the difference? What is this fad? Again, if you take fashion, some fashion perhaps 6 months, 1 year. Fad means a short-lived fashion. For a short time something becomes very fashionable. Then we say it was a fad. Sometime it was popular, then it disappeared. The only way to thrive is to be flexible. When constant factor is change, obviously you got to be flexible. How can you survive? When things happen in seconds, you got to be flexible. Based on that, the answer is the second option. The only way to thrive means to do well, to survive, to grow well, is to be flexible. Businesses are not what they used to be. You can consider this also. But what is the key word in the second sentence? Change. Then it is not relevant. It is the age of the time, internet, not relevant here. Answer is the second option. 57. In today's volatile also means what? Constantly changing, evaporating. In today's volatile IT environment, more learning of tools will not suffice. Underline the word suffice. Means not enough, not sufficient. It can give you an entry. It can't enable you to succeed and sustain. It can't enable you to succeed and sustain it. Sustain means maintain. It has many meanings. One of the meanings, maintain. You cannot maintain. Here the key words, it can give you an entry. It cannot enable you succeed and sustain it. When you enter a particular job, a particular company, that means what? You got a job. There are two things here the sentence talks about. One is getting a job, the other getting a career, having a career. Job is one time thing, career 30, 40 years. Sentence says, if you learn certain tools, you may get a job. But based on those tools, getting a job is only the beginning. If you want to continue and have a good career, that is not going to be enough. Based on that, it can give you a head start in the rat race. You can consider this also. You may win the race but not be satisfied, not relevant. It can give you a job, not a career. It's like today if you go to Amirpet, a lot of institutes, IT institutes, you all know that. There is one particular street full of banners and people from other parts of the state, other states also, they go there, they take a crash course and they get a job. But can they get a career? No, they get a job. To have a bright career, you need the actual knowledge, actual talent. Based on that, what is the answer? The third option, it can give you a job, not a career. You need to grow into a complete professional. That's a personal opinion, not relevant here. A global shortage in knowledge and workers translates into fatter paychecks. That means what? Demand is more, supply is less. Today, if you take labor force, you have more people. Intellectuals, only a few. Why do IT people get heavy salaries? Only a few IT professionals. They are in demand, so they get huge amounts. There is a marked difference between a typical graduate and an IT professional. A typical graduate may get about, the other day there was an article, there was a discussion. ISRO chairman, his salary it seems 2.5 lakhs per month. Everyone was shocked. That is nothing. If you go to a private sector, if you go to he is the head of the organization. If you go to the private sector, IT company, they get in crores. How much money do they get? Crores of rupees. And where is 2.5 lakhs? Nothing. Everyone was surprised. Here the sentence talks about demand is more, supply is less. Obviously some people get heavy paychecks, others don't get. A global shortage in knowledge workers translates into fatter paychecks. While low-skill employees at the bottom of the scale tend to earn ordinary wages. Based on that, does it talk about doctors? No. Those are not doing run-of-the-mill jobs, means regular jobs. Does not go with that. Those in responsible positions command higher salaries. This seems right, hold this one. The higher the salary, the greater the responsibility. No. So what is the answer here? Those in responsible positions, they are the people with knowledge. The sentence talks about knowledge workers. They command higher salaries. Answer is the third option. 59. Raman looked at himself in the mirror and was pleased. He loved to spend money on good clothes and it showed. The last word, showed, is a key for the next sentence. Something showed. It showed how there was mud on his shoes. It does not go with the idea of this sentence. It should be positive. The gleaming leather belt complemented the subtle shade of his trousers perfectly. This is a positive statement. The yellow shirt, though creased, matched the creased brown pants that he wore. Does not go with the sentence. He was getting late for his appointment, irrelevant. So what is the answer here? Second option is the answer. That goes with the personality of the person and his lifestyle. The last one, next to China, India is the most populated country in the world. Other words are not other sentences you can read based on the time. But common sense, imagine a population is more. The rush for jobs, it is going to be severe or not? Severe, obviously. More people, a few jobs. Today if you take SBI PO, what is the number? 2,000 posts. And how many people write? 20 lakh candidates. How many? 20 lakh. 20 lakh, 2000. Why? Population, lot of graduates, they all need a job. Once you understand, you can get the correct option. Keeping this in mind, the government has provided concessions? No. Naturally, there is too much rush and competition in every field. Population is more, what is the inevitable thing? A rush, too much rush and competition in every field. Answer is the second option. Have you read the passage? I will not touch the two passages except a few questions. There is a problem with this question. What is the first question here? There are three parts and they should be arranged in the correct order. Have you gone through that? There is a problem with the question. Because being allowing, does it seem right or wrong? Tell me, will you ever say being allowing, grammatically speaking? What is the right word? Being allowed. So this is not, I'm not going to work on this question. If you have answered, I wonder how you could answer. Next one, where do you have a question based on vocabulary? Similar to the word abdication. Abdication means what? Renunciation, leaving something. So they want similar. What is the fourth option here? Renunciation is the answer. But a few important words are here. Write the meaning of the word. Condonement comes from condone. Condone means to accept or excuse a wrong behavior. You can also use the word forgive, to accept or excuse a wrong behavior, condone. We also use the word forgive. What is the next word here? Sufferance. Sufferance. Sufferance means nothing to do with suffering. A different meaning altogether. It slipped my mind. Hold that one. What is the next word? Dispensation. Write the meaning of dispensation. One of the meanings of the word dispensation, it means a political, social, or cultural system. Cultural system. One meaning. Have you got the meaning? Dispensation. A particular system, political, social, or cultural. What is the next one? Next one is the answer. Renunciation. Endorse. Endorse we have got many a time. It goes with celebrities. There is a particular product. It goes with a product or a service. A celebrity, an actor, an actress, they come and say this is the best product and very useful. That is nothing but endorse. Endorse means publicly support. Have you got the meaning? Now let us go to question number 66. What are these about? Grammar knowledge or correct order? Correct order. First, when you look at the parts, you have to ask the question, what is this about? When you ask question number 66, what is this sentence about? What stands out? The International Cricket Council issued, then you ask the question, issued what? Comprehensive guidelines aimed at getting. You got DA. How many options with DA? Only one option. But check other two also. Aimed at getting the sport up and running around the world while at the same time maintaining the highest safety protocols. Answer is what? The first option. 67, what is this about? It is about the impact of the pandemic and the impact of the pandemic on those who supply the marine food. Let us start with the COVID-19 pandemic has forced people to do what? to change their lifestyle and food habits, which is drastically changing. Changing again what? The dynamics of the seafood industry that usually turns to restaurants to ensure their fresh catch reaches consumers. How many options begin with B? Two options. And both the options BD common. What is the third one we thought? Here, the COVID-19 pandemic has forced people to change their lifestyle and food habits, which is drastically changing the dynamics of the seafood. That means what is the answer? Third option is the answer. This is a bit difficult. Of all the 5 questions, this is a bit difficult. This one or how? Here, you have to know, you have to read twice or thrice. And it's your gut feeling. You have to start with although. Usually, grammar knowledge can be used here. I tell students ask me, sir, what is the difference between though and although? Both express a contrast. What is the difference? Although comes at the beginning of a sentence, though can come at the beginning or in the middle. If you remember that, you will go with although. Another difference, although is a more formal word. Between the two, although is a more formal word. But although comes at the beginning of a sentence. Once you know that, try with although. Although very low key in the global affairs of international cricket, it is the first tournament to be staged in a test playing region since the advent of the coronavirus pandemic. You should feel comfortable since when the advent of BD appeared. But overall, you should get what it is about. How many options begin with C? Only one option, that is your answer. Is this clear? This again, what is this about? It is about MasterCard. MasterCard has emerged as a healthiest what? Way of making payments. Why do you use a card to make payments? So MasterCard has emerged as the healthiest way of making payments because all that you need to do, that again pair, all that you need to do is just tap your card and below rupees 2000 transactions, you don't even require a PIN. Punctuation ignored. So how many options begin with C? You have to respond. Only one option, that is your answer. 70. Here this is again one reading, maximum 2 readings. What does it talk about? It talks about the Australian Capital Territory has not had what? A case in 3 weeks and has left its borders, usually we use the word open, leave the borders open. Where is the word open? Left its borders open like the worst affected states, New South Wales and Victoria. How many options begin with B? 2 options. And what is the second one we thought? A. How many options with B? A. 2 options. What is the third one? Left its borders open, D. Which one is BAD? Second option is the answer. These are about grammar knowledge, error location, but new pattern. Magic realism is one of the, what is the clue for you? Whenever you come across a phrase one of the, you have to recollect 3 rules, but in all the 3 rules, the noun is in the plural form. What is the noun here? One of the latest edition or one of the latest editions? So what is the answer? C is the answer. Have you got this one? Easy. All the 5 are easy. Even though he found the subject rather interesting, already there is a negative word, even though. Then you cannot use the word rather. He found the subject rather interesting. That is okay. But you cannot say even though and rather. Based on that, what is the answer? Remove the word rather. That is the answer. I now understand why Sanjay did not. This is a common error. Past tense, interrogative and negative forms. Based on logical thinking, a lot of people think they have to use a past form of the verb. Past form of the verb goes with affirmative form. But negative and interrogative, first verb, the past form. Second verb, bare infinitive. So what is the answer? Did not tell, not told. 74. He got to the top and was very disappointed when he found that someone else has reached it first. Here, first action, someone reached. Second action, this person. So when there are two actions that happen in the past, one after the other, first action, which tense do you use? Past perfect, not present perfect. So what is the answer here? Had reached, not has reached. And which tense is that? Past perfect tense. Our rich men, to say the least, did not advance a moral struggle of passive resistance as much the poor or as much as the poor. You have to respond. As much you need to use as much as long as good as tall as. Without as, it is not correct. Answer is the fourth option. Have you read this passage? You are not responding for my questions rather. Have you read this? Okay. We'll go to tamping down. Based on the context, tamping down means what? To lead to an accident, crush someone, toning of rules, reduce importance of something. So what is the answer? Reduce importance of something. What all habitual aspects need to be corrected according to the passage, based on the perkiest. You should know the meaning, otherwise the context also does not provide any clue. Here perkiest means lively, energetic. Which option says lively? Answer is a similar meaning. Fourth option is the answer. But you have to know the word and the meaning, only then you can answer. Now you have two questions based on phrasal verbs. Hand in. Hand in has two or three meanings. One of the meanings to give. And the boss wants you to hand in your figures for this month to him. Perfect. He is going this Friday. He has already handed in his notice, gave his notice, correct? All assignments should be handed in by Tuesday. Should be given by Tuesday. This is also right. So what is the answer? All of the above is the answer. 85. Blown over. First one could be right, could be wrong. Imagine they are talking about the impact of the storm. Then it should be in passive voice. Here it is in passive voice or active voice? Active voice. The dustbins have blown over. They have blown over everywhere. This is also right, but generally dustbins receive action. We should use passive voice. What do we say? The wind has blown the dustbins all over. The wind has blown over the dustbins. That is a practical statement. But grammatically, nothing wrong with this. The dustbins have blown over and there is rubbish everywhere because they have blown over rubbish everywhere. It was a major scandal and we all hoped it would soon blow over. Means slowly people forget. I can't believe you blew over the exam. Blow over the exam, not correct combination. Based on that, what is the answer? 1 and 2. 86. Act on. The police were acting on a tip. Perfect. The medicine only acts on infected tissue. Perfect. Already there is a word here, smart. Then you cannot use the word act on. Generally we say don't try to act smart. Act on means it has negative meaning, positive meaning. Don't try to act on very smart. It is not grammatically correct. You cannot use act on very smart. What do we say? Don't act very smart. Typical statement. Someone acts smart, usually in the classroom or in a group. We say, don't try to act smart. And to be very harsh, we say, don't try to wag your tail. If you wag your tail, I know how to cut it. Have you heard of this idiomatic expression? Wag your tail. means don't act smart. Based on that, 1 and 2 are correct. What is the answer? Third option is the answer. 87, these are connectors, not easy. But you should understand, today's world is fast paced, and to keep up with it, we need an infusion of speed with learning. It talks about the pace of the world. From the classroom assignments, lectures, blackboards, and chalks, we have come a long way to what is known as e-learning. To keep up with, seems right, to keep up with what the fast pace of, if we need infusion of speed with learning, we have changed or we have evolved, we have come a long way from all these to e-learning. Having come a long way, you cannot use having come. It has to, you have to show another action, and that is usually contrasting. You cannot, it does not go with the context. We have come a long way. Again, you cannot connect these two. So what is the answer? To keep with the pace, changing pace, we have come a long way from where to where? From the traditional approach to modern approach. What is the modern approach here? E-learning. We have a moral responsibility to pay the debt of leaving the earth in at least as good a situation as we now enjoy. When we use earth's natural resources, we borrow from the earth and from future generations. It talks about what? We have a responsibility. Why do we have a responsibility? Because we are borrowing from the earth and we are borrowing from future generations. And responsibility is what? We have to keep it in a good situation. Based on that, when we use, we have a moral responsibility. We have to keep something in perfect condition because we have borrowed from the earth and future generations. First one is correct. You cannot use a condition if not relevant here. Enjoying while leaving, not relevant. So what is the answer? Only one. Which option is that? Third option. We should not forget the importance of ecological balance while developing and promoting tourism in every possible manner. That's why we have to develop the concept of eco-friendly tourism. It again talks about environment. If ecological tourism were to be promoted, here we should not, it is not a condition. So we cannot use the word if. We have to develop what? Eco-friendly tourism. Why should we do that? Keeping in mind, to keep in mind the importance of ecological balance, we have to do that. So you can consider the second option. We have to develop ecotourism. Why? To protect the environment. Forgetting the importance, no, it is not about forgetting the importance of ecological balance while developing and promoting tourism, then you cannot connect the second sentence. Based on that, what is the answer? Second option is, which one is that? We have to develop. Second option is the answer. The last one. Cyber security has emerged as a great challenge before the Digital India program. It causes a lot of problems in its financial transactions components. Having been caused, here they have used certain grammatical expressions. If you know the functions, then you can eliminate based on the context. You cannot. Emerging as a great challenge before the Digital India program, cyber security causes a lot of problems in its financial transactions components. I think these two can be connected with the second option. Again, it is not about a condition. The word if does not come into picture. So what is the answer? The second option. Fourth option is the answer. Rajshekar. Have you got the time to read both the passages and answer all the questions? Who has done it? Or one passage, all the questions? No. You got. Which one have you read? First one or second one? Second one. Actually, first one is about what? It is about monsoon.